Hey, it's finally Foundation Friday. If you're new here, on Fridays I sit down and talk about a new or old, we don't discriminate here, foundation that I've been trying out. I do multi-day wear tests using a variety of techniques, tools, products, whatever. So if you're interested in learning more about the Smashbox Halo Healthy Glow All-in-One Tinted Moisturizer Broad Spectrum SPF 25, then please keep on watching. I've been on a tinted moisturizer kick lately, so when I came across the Smashbox Halo Healthy Glow All-in-One Tinted Moisturizer Broad Spectrum SPF 25 at Sephora, I was pretty much sold on it. Plus, I wanted to pick up my birthday gift. I chose the Hourglass set, just in case you're interested. I've been really excited to try the powder. Anyway, the Smashbox Halo Healthy Glow All-in-One Tinted Moisturizer Broad Spectrum SPF 25 retails for $36 and you get 1.4 fluid ounces, which is more than your standard foundation. There are 12 shades in this range that go from fair to deep. I picked up the shade Fair Light, which is described as being for fair skin with cool pink or cool peach undertones. This is the second to lightest shade, and I do think that it is a pretty good shade match. It is an all-in-one SPF primer-powered tinted moisturizer that is lightweight, natural-looking with dewy coverage that hydrates skin for up to 24 hours. Its breathable, vegan, oil-free formula is boosted with skin-caring ingredients, rose extract, hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, goji berries, gold, and peptides that moisturize, condition, and protect. It's shown to moisturize skin for up to 24 hours and help plump skin's appearance and promote suppleness through hydration. It also won't crease, cake, or settle into fine lines, is sweat and humidity resistant, and made for all skin types. Those are some pretty big claims to make. It's free of sulfates, parabens, formaldehydes, mineral oil, oxybenzone. It's free of all sorts of things. Even though it is free of oxybenzone, one of the active ingredients in the sunscreen is octinoxate, which is not reef safe, just in case that was something that concerns you. And there is less than 1% of synthetic fragrances in this product. I am going to insert some swatches here to show you what the Smashbox Halo Healthy Glow Tinted Moisturizer looks like compared to some other foundations that I have in my collection. Smashbox Halo Healthy Glow Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Fair Light, Hostess Tinted Face Oil in the shade 1, Glossier Skin Tint in the shade G12, ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer in the shade 4N, Milk Makeup Sunshine Skin Tint in the shade Fair, Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint in the shade Rendezvous. First, I'm going to talk about the outer packaging. I really like what they did here. It's very sleek. It is not extra big. It's not overly clunky. It does say, our studio artists love this weightless tinted moisturizer, which is infused with primer so it lasts all day and melts effortlessly, enhancing skin with light, natural looking coverage and a long wearing glow. All in one, primes, perfects, protects, and hydrates. Healthy glow, dewy finish, no creasing, caking, or settling, packed with skin-loving ingredients, infused with goji berries, gold, and peptide with SPF 25 for environmental protection. To use, shake well, and tap on with fingers and blend. It gives you this cute little studio tip. It says, use it as a tinted primer or layer under powder or foundation. And I thought that was really fun. Moving on to the actual product packaging. The packaging of the Halo Healthy Glow Tinted Moisturizer is very sleek and it definitely doesn't take up a lot of space. It is something that you could easily throw in your bag to take along with you without needing to worry about it breaking open. The cap is on really nicely, so you won't have to worry about any leaking or spilling in your bag. It is a squeeze tube, which is not my personal preference, but it is better than a pour out, so I guess there's that. And also to point out that the tube is completely opaque. There's no real reference point to see how full your tube is. Personal preference, I would like some kind of gauge to see how much product I do have remaining. One minor difference between the product packaging and the outer box box packaging is the instructions for application. So the product packaging itself only says to shake well, whereas the outer packaging does tell you to shake well and blend with your fingers. Before I get into my final thoughts on the Tinted Moisturizer, I'm going to share with you a few clips from my 3-day wear test. In this first clip, it's the first wear test and also a first impression. I chose to do this wear test with no additional products so that I could see how the product performs, and that way I could adjust what I needed to do over the next few days. All of the wear test footage is filmed in natural lighting. The second wear test day, I primed using the Vitamin Glow Primer as suggested by Sephora. I applied it with a Real Techniques No. 200 brush on one side of my face and a damp EcoTool sponge on the other side. During this wear test, I used all cream products and a light layer of the Lila Bee Aglow Setting Mist. On the third day, I tried this out. I used it as a primer underneath my current favorite foundation, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I wore it for over 12 hours, but I did take a nap during the day, so there's a little bit of wear off in a few places. Okay, so now on to the review. First, even though this does have SPF in it, I would still recommend using a dedicated sunscreen underneath. You just really can't be sure how much you're applying to know that you are getting an effective amount of SPF when you're using a tinted moisturizer type product. In no real particular order, I'm going to list off some of the things that I noticed over the last few days that I've been wearing this tinted moisturizer. It has a thicker consistency than most of my other skin tint type products, and it also absorbs really quickly into the skin. So you have to move quickly with this, or you have to work in small sections. Otherwise, you're going to get an uneven application or a patchy application. It does blur my pores and texture. It's creaseless, it's cakeless, it doesn't settle into fine lines. It's everything that I wish the Milk Flex Stick foundation had been. I completely forget that I'm even wearing anything. It completely dries to the touch, so it is pretty transfer proof. I had to wear a mask a few times while I was testing out the foundation, and there was no rub off on my mask. I could change my clothes without getting any makeup on the collars of my shirts or anything. I could hug my family and nothing transferred onto their clothes. So I do really like that this foundation was so transfer proof. It's not sticky at all, so there's no powder or anything that you need to do to make this work. It just dries down. If you do apply a few layers, it'll take a little bit longer to dry down, but ultimately it will dry down completely. I do think that it applies best with fingers. I did try using a sponge and a brush. Both of those tools really suck up a lot of product. So if you are going to be using a brush or a sponge, I recommend putting the product first on your face and then blending it out from there. You'll get better coverage versus putting it, say, on like a palette or on the back of your hand and working it into the brush or sponge. You're going to lose a lot of product. It can be built up to cover redness and blemishes. I was really excited to find that out. It does not claim to be a buildable foundation. I did try it out just to see if I could cover up a little more of the scarring that I do have on my cheeks, and I was very happy to discover that you can build it and it will still dry down even if you've got a few layers of the foundation on your face. It sinks right into your skin and it is super lightweight. It doesn't feel like you're even wearing anything at all. There's more coverage than I thought when I was going into this. Way more coverage than I would expect for a tinted moisturizer. It's not as glowy or dewy as I was expecting it to be based on its name, but I am still really happy with the finish. It's a really fresh, natural glow. I think that it still looks really nice, and when it is just worn on its own, it definitely gives your face that like fresh, healthy look. I mean, it says it in the name, it's the healthy glow, and you really do get a healthy glow from it. I haven't noticed any kind of scent at all, and I guess the last thing is that you do really need to shake it. If you don't shake it, it is going to be a runny mess. You can tell the difference from when it is unshaken, it sounds really liquidy, versus when you have shaken it up and it's emulsified together. Overall, I have no issues with this tinted moisturizer. I did notice that as my nose got oilier throughout the day, the tinted moisturizer would break apart or it would come off if I touched my nose at all. So that's something to maybe be aware of if you have oilier skin, that maybe you'll need additional mattifying products or oil controlling products to use alongside this. Other than that, there is nothing that I can think of that would keep me from recommending this to anyone that was interested in purchasing it. This wears really nicely underneath makeup. It wears really nicely when you wear it on its own. It held up in the heat. I didn't notice any kind of running or transferring even when I was wearing a mask. It lasted all day long. I didn't need to worry about any kind of touch-ups. I do think it helped the longevity when I paired it with the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. If you can't tell by now, I highly recommend the Smashbox Halo Healthy Glow All-in-One Tinted Moisturizer SPF 25. Let me know down below what other foundations you'd like to see me review. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video.